What's up guys, bob.bob.the.gamer here, coming at you with some more Edison top deck lists. Today we've got the top 8 for RBET Rulers. Check it out. Alright guys, so here we go. First place we have Hero Frog. Nobody's really surprised about that. Hero Frog by SunnyAfterDark. He's still active in the Edison community and doing a fantastic job. He won RBET Rulers, which is, debatably one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious tournament for Edison, right? So, congratulations to SunnyAfterDark. Let's take a look at this deck list, right? So, we're on 4 Monarchs, we are on the 5 Heroes, we're on 2 Fader and a Gores, Devil Junk Synchron, and Devil Enemy Controller. I really feel like these are kind of the standout cards in the deck list that Sunny has taken and maximized to their most effects. I think Junk Synchron and Enemy Controller are 2 of the best cards. Enemy Controller being basically just another brain control as well as a potentially defensive option if you need it to be that. And then he is on 2 Threatening Roars. Threatening Roar is kind of like, I mean, technically it is a minus, but it's like, functionally a turn skip. You're taking all of the OTK decks, right? Anything like zombies or, if Blackwings are able to do their swarming thing. Sometimes Vayu can do gigantic pushes, right? You're taking any of those decks, and you're basically guaranteeing that you're going to get a comeback push, right? You're going to get the clapback. And when you clap back against some of those decks, you just win. You're able to go, okay, cool, sack for Caius, and then I'm going to absolute zero you, and I'm just going to wipe your board, and then you have to deal with a Caius and an absolute zero type of thing, right? So, the deck is obviously very cool. I'm not particularly the biggest Frog fan. Don't get me wrong, the deck is good. I just think it could be a little boring. But I think with the inclusions of the Junk Synchrons and the Enemy Controllers, I might have to give Hero Frogs another shot. I really like this list. I think it's fantastic. It looks very, very consistent. Deck Devi, ironically enough, in this tournament did not end up being a gigantic thing. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Triple Vanities, which is becoming almost staple in Frogs. I really like the Burial from the Diva Dimension. Just being able to get your Treeborns back in play. Even though it's not as important for Hero Frogs, it's still really important. So, I'm a big fan of this. No discard traps in the main for Frogs is very, very, very unheard of. So, congrats to SunnyAfterDark. Well played. Moving on. Alright, deck list number 2 here. We've got Standard Blackwings by Dimitri. So, a couple things to note. He's only on 1 Vayu, and he's on the 6 Draw Traps. So, 6 Draw Traps, really, HT19, HT19, whatever you want to call Hector, he really was one of the best placing Blackwing deck lists here. Electing to play no Deep Prisons in the build is a little crazy, but he does include one of my favorite cards in Blackwings, which is Dark Illusion. Dark Illusion basically negates anything that targets a dark monster, so it stops Monarchs, it stops Fellow Icarus attack, it stops Deep Prison, it stops pretty much everything that you're worried about in Blackwings other than like Bottomless Trap Hole. I like the inclusion of Fissures for Consecrated Light. A True Hero is a big fan of that as well. Citing the Mind Control, for just Raikou decks. He's only on 1 Deck Devi in the entire list, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of been like Deck Devi format recently, right? But he's just on the 1 Deck Devi, and it's in the sideboard. I really like Transmigration Prophecy kind of more than Crow. I think in some cases it's actually better. It gets around Imperial Iron Wall. The Card Trooper is pretty cool. I like the addition of another beater, though I don't know how much you want to mill in this version. I mean, if you get lucky and hit your one of Vayu, that's cool, but I don't know. Anytime I try and mill in Blackwings, I'm hitting like Whirlwinds and Icarus attacks and things I don't want to mill. Big fan of Dark Illusion. Congrats to Dimitri. I know that he's a fantastic player, and he's topped pretty much everything he's been in. Moving on, we have Machina Turbo. So, I really like this deck. I think Machina is kind of slept on. I think that it's quite good. So, JJ94 here. I like his list. We are on, you're pretty much, I wouldn't call 3 Force staple, but usually they play like 2. But he's on 3 Force. He's on 3 Fortress, obviously, and he's on 3 Avarice, 3 Hamster. I guess he's just trying to get his mill engine online as quick as possible, and either use Plague or Caius to convert off of the Hamsters / Raikous that he gets out. And he's just trying to mill as quick as possible. He's on 3 Draw Traps as well, seeing a little bit of a return of the Draw Trap stuff. Triple D Prison, one Karma Cut in the main. Karma Cut, I think, is such a fantastic card. Like, it doesn't have the versatility or Geki Break or Wing Blast, being able to hit, you know, kind of whatever you want. But sometimes just hitting that Treeborn or hitting, you know, something like a Goblin Zombie or a Vayu can be incredible. The needle ceilings in the side are actually super cool, too. Just, I don't want to deal with frogs. I don't want to deal with Duplock. We're not going to do that. As well as the two compulsories in the side I really like. Siding the Chaos Sorcerer here is very interesting. I think that's... You don't play... What do you play? 4 Darks? Yeah, you play 4 Darks. I mean, I guess when you side into Crows, you could bring it in, and Cyber Dragon is also a light. Most of his sideboard monsters are lights and darks. So, you definitely could do that. And he's still on the Gothams, which I like. Congratulations to JJ. Well done, sir. Moving on. Alright, so we have the Theft Amaryllis by Kezzapwnz. So Kezzapwnz, I believe, was on a 42-card list prior to this tournament. I'll post those side by side for you guys, because it was very, very recent that he played. And he's knocked it down to 40. So the idea here is basically going off of the small little engine that Chris from No Suck Gaming kind of brought forward with the Cyber Valleys and the 1-for-1s and such. Great against Blackwings, being able to just 1-for-1 out the Consecrated, especially if you have like a Trap Stun or something to turn off the Icarus attack. It's pretty devastating for the Blackwings. But being able to just play Brain Control, Mind Control, and Double Mark with no Hidden Armory, you can pretty much normal summon at any point. And any of those 4 cards with a Cyber Valley or a 1-for-1 is basically going to get you an out to whatever their board is. Sort of looks like Lava Golem in a way, other than like other Titanials, pretty much. Interestingly enough, he went back to the Wing Blast, and he's still on that dark package of the 1 Tomato, Gale, Sanguine, and Plague. Just wants to be able to see those cards and really toolbox them out. But yeah, only on 2 Amaryllis. I think this list is pretty cool. I don't know that I like it more than the Quick Draw Amaryllis deck that was going around, but obviously it paid off for him here. It worked very, very well, so congrats to Kezzapwnz. Alright. So now we're moving into the top 8. So top 8, we have Lightsworn from Left Right 2245. Just kidding, it's LR2245. Anyway, so we have a pretty standard Lightsworn list, I would say. A couple things that are pretty interesting is that he's playing Judgment Dragon. No, I'm kidding. So he's on 1 Beckoning Light, he's on 1 Monster Reincarnation. I kind of like that ratio, especially since he sides into the Chaos Sorcerer. He's putting in, you know, like Crows and Kaiku and such, so that's going to give him additional darks. I like 2 Celestia. Being on the Hamster, I almost wonder if it would be worth going to 3, but, you know, the deck definitely can brick with the JDs and the Wolves and stuff, so I understand not doing it. But, you know, you get your Hamster, Raikou, Celestia. It's basically Hamster, Raikou, Caius, but you get to pop an additional card and mill. Yeah, it's worse than the Starlight Road, but not everybody plays that, you know, so I think that's a pretty cool path to go down. Triple Wolf, 2 Jane, which is pretty uncommon, but I think just maybe they were preparing for the deck Devi meta, and they're just like, I'm just going to have bigger guys than you. I still like Double Lila. 2 or 3, I think, is correct in Lightsworn. And he's still on the Trooper. It looks, honestly, really cool. The Triple Consecrated, man, is Triple Consecrated plus Decree. Really did not want to lose to that Blackwing matchup. But I think the list's cool. I like them to go for 1 Threatening Roar as opposed to, you know, the other Beckoning. Yeah, and he's got a lot of grave removal. He's got the Triple Crows, he's got 1 Kaiku, and he's got Soul Release. That's a lot of grave hate. I guess he was just like, I don't want to lose to any Vayu or Frog shenanigans. So, congrats. Alright, moving on. We have Vayu Turbo with Avalanche M. Once again, repping Final Fantasy VII is debatably the best Final Fantasy of all time. 10's up there, though. 10's up there. Blitzball's pretty cool. So he is on what I feel like is almost moving more towards the standard of Vayu list. I think this is pretty close to an Eric Shen build with 2 Hamster, 1 Charge, double Deck Devi in the main, plus Chaos Sorcerer. He is on triple Caius instead of triple Sirocco. That's one thing that's worth noting. But other than that, it looks fairly similar to a standard Vayu list. He's got both Depressions and Solemn in the sideboard, double Kaiku, double Lightning Vortex, really wanting to get through that Amaryllis matchup as well as work around Frogs. But, you know, it can only get you so far, right? But otherwise, I think it's a very, very solid deck list. I'm a fan of Vayu. I think it's probably my favorite deck of the big three. Congrats to Avalanche. On to the next. So, we've got another Blackwing deck by Samoopusteno. This one's on double Vayu. He's also on 3 draw traps, 1 deck Devi in the main, 1 in the side. He is electing to play 2 deep prisons. It looks pretty standard beyond that. He's doing 1 knock. Interesting that there's no mind control there. I guess he just said, I just want to get rid of it. I don't care about the Ryko value. 2 pulling the rugs, and no asking for strict is kind of interesting. You know, obviously that conflicts with the curse attack, but you still see a lot of Blackwing players side that. But yeah, other than that, pretty standard. Congratulations, Samoopusteno. And moving on, last one in the top 8. It's your boy's favorite. We got Diva Hero Zombies. So what I feel like is kind of moving towards the standard. Mark, I believe it was from Nats, where he topped as well as Jake XO. This is Yugioh 8087. So he's on Future Fusion with 2 miracles. I think that's probably the correct ratio. He's on triple Diva. I personally like Gilman in the deck, but I'm about the only player that does, I think. I just don't like having dead Divas when you can't get to keep a Goblin on board. Your standard 4 heroes for this deck, 2 Kaias. He's got pretty much all the zombies, but interestingly enough, he did cut Spirit Reaper, which I feel like you can do. It makes your Goblin zombie value a little bit worse, but I mean, Reaper's cool, but I definitely feel like he's probably a cuttable card. I've been trying to figure out how to get Necro Garden in there for a long time, which he's obviously been able to do. Because Necro is just a very, very strong card. This deck doesn't play a ton of aggro, and having that Necro Gardener, it's so helpful. The fact that it can be chained too, I don't want to say it takes away your weakness to Crow, but you know, it doesn't add one, right? So that's kind of nice. And yeah, he's on the brain control, mind control. You're pretty much your standard trap lineup, other than he's on 1 deep prison and he's on 1 main skill drain. So zombies definitely can play skill drain. I've ran into issues where people make Ancient Fairy in defense mode, and I just can't get over it with anything that I have. But short of that, it's an incredible card. It's really, really good against frogs, which can be a really tough matchup for you with them just Kaiasing your goblins or your pyramid turtles, not letting you get value off of those, or even your heroes and not letting your miracles go live. He's on the DD Assailant in the side deck, which I really like. It's a great rota target. Zombie World, I'm a big fan of. Fairies can be a tough matchup, and it really helps against Amaryllis as well. He's also siding the Solemn, and he's on 1 Karma Cut in the side, as well as a Mask of Restrict, which is pretty cool. The Trapstun in the main, Trapstun, man, is becoming a very, very good card. I'm a big fan of it, personally. It functionally works as a 1-for-1 that just shuts down your opponent's ability to chain things, and it's fantastic against like a Curse Attack or Deck Devi or anything that tributes, right? Like, you just get so much value out of it. His extra deck is crazy because he's able to fit 4 fusions in there, the Chimera Tech plus the 3 heroes. You got to play the Gaia because, you know, sometimes you want to ditch like Mizuki. He's elected to cut the Doom Kaiser out of there. I don't know that I would have did that, but, you know, it worked out for him. So, congratulations to Yugioh and everybody else that topped, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Check out one of these other top deck list videos over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.